I'd say the first time I really recognized that I wasn't living in freedom is about 4 years ago. I was just having some quiet time with God, a 9 hour car drive, and no radio, just me and God chilling out. And it was about halfway through the drive, he just brought to my memory something that had happened when I was in the sixth grade. My parents pull me out back, and my dad starts talking to me. And my dad's an engineer, so he pulls, has to do a diagram for everything. And he pulls out a piece of paper and he puts a pen on it. And he starts talking about how he and my mom are starting to have different goals in life. And, they're just starting to split up. And he actually put a point and then drew two arrows going off in different directions. When I'm driving in the car, God revealed to me, he goes, that diagram that your dad drew, how there's that little dot and then the arrows going off in different directions, you're living in that spot. You are fearful and anxious that at any point you're going to do something, and any relationship you have, it's just going to split. So that was causing me just great stress, great anxiety. Anytime with my then girlfriend, now wife, anytime any sort of conflict arose, I was just really anxious, really worried. I was just super quick to try and resolve it. I definitely saw how not only was fear present in kind of how I was working in relationships, but also it translated in a different form, but with kind of the same results in professional settings where I was uneasy, anxious, stressed out, but then I was just using words like that, I'm just stressed, I'm just a little nervous, I'm just a little anxious. Whatever. So, that's what everyone is. I think the first time I really recognized that it wasn't normal, or it wasn't how I was supposed to be living, was actually when I was reading the Bible, and I was reading in 2 Timothy, and it said how, for you weren't given a spirit of fear or a spirit of timidity, but a spirit of power, love, and self-discipline. And I feel like when I read that, wait a minute, fear isn't normal. I wasn't given this from God. I'm supposed to have power, love, and self-discipline. Fear is not from him. I feel like when I had started saying no to fear, interestingly enough, is actually when my wife and I conceived. And I have no doubt that it was something that God wanted to work out of me to make sure that I was able to be a husband and a father, fear-free.
I grew up in a family that didn't talk about anything. If your feelings got hurt, or if you got in a fight with somebody, everyone went in their rooms, they shut the doors, cried a little bit, and then you would come back out, and everything was fine. And so we just didn't talk about anything. And I feel like for me, that kind of went on to the belief, just me believing that people didn't care what I had to say. I would be in new situations and meeting new people, or even just speaking in front of people, and realizing that in my mind I just kept playing this, these thoughts just kept going through my mind of, you're not good enough, you can't do it, and nobody really cares, what you have to say. And so I didn't like feeling paralyzed in those moments when I wanted to be myself and I wanted to be real with people. I decided I want to be free. I want to be able to move and to walk and to speak, and to just be walking in that freedom. I was part of a small group, and we got together, and I wrote down all these lies that I'd been believing. We prayed through those lies, and I wrote it down in this journal, thinking that I wanted to kind of take note of this time in my life. And by the time we left the small group, I decided I'm gonna tear this out, I'm gonna throw it away, and because I don't want to remember lies about me. I want to remember what God says about me. I think also my daughters, I want to be a strong woman for them, and I want to be courageous, and I want to be fearless, and someone that they would look up to. A lot of times we'll talk about that, like what it means to be strong, and I'll tell them what God says about them, and that that they're beautiful and that they're strong and that their voice matters, and that I'm walking in that too. That I'm trying to become that person too.